Hi guys and welcome back to the garage. Today we're gonna continue on with the Volvo 740 T5 engine swap, where we do a Volvo 740 T5 engine swap. Pretty basically, yeah. We're putting in a Volvo V70 5-cylinder turbo engine instead of the old 4-cylinder tractor engine that used to be there. We got the engine in. We need to put a roll cage in just to stiffen up the whole body of the car, because the Volvo 740 is kind of sloppy in the body. So I just want to get that in there, and then we're going to fit the interior, get the electrics sorted, and yeah, get this thing back on the road basically. Anyway, this is part 2, so let's get started on that roll cage and make sure we get that in there. I'm looking at the roll cage, it's behind the camera. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time looking into the lens. It's weird. Anyway, let's go. All right, so before we get started, this is how far I have gotten up to this point. We got most of the cage in there, but we do miss a few poles in here, so we need to get these ones, the cross section back here between these struts going down to the wheelhouse. We need to get a cross in there. We also need one going across the floor right here, and we also need one going across the driver's door here for some side impact protection. But the main focus of this cage is not to provide safety. It's mostly to stiffen up the whole body, because the Volvo 740 body is kind of, it's not very strong. It's kind of flexible, so it likes to flex a lot. This does help a lot. I can already feel it in the doors. Like, they shut completely differently than what they did from the beginning. Like, everything's a lot more stable. I mean, if I can feel it already, then it should do a lot when we get this thing back on the ground. Anyway, let's get started on this cross right here. See where we wind up. All right, so you have this package of poles right here. They have some writing on them. This one says huvudbåge, which is main beam, I guess. Can't remove that because then everything's gonna fall down. I think we're gonna need the long ones for the cross. All right, so I got the right pole right here. I'm gonna remove all this text and we're gonna start over so I can show you guys kind of what I'm thinking right here. All right, so you wanna get like a tire marking pen and make sure you don't hit anything on the way in here. I'm gonna put that across like so, and then you gotta get your fat ass in here. Ow. Oh, jeez. Oh. There we go. You want to try to get it as close to this part right here as possible. So I'm going to put it right in this joint right here. We're going to try to get it as far down as we can on that side. So you got to think about that this pipe right here is going to be on the inside here. So basically, you know, you gotta do this in small increments, because you gotta cut it and then fit it, cut it, fit it, cut it, fit it until it's just perfect. It's almost impossible to get it straight the first time. I guess you may have a trick up your sleeve if you're doing this all the time, but this is my first time, so I'm just gonna have to do it like that until I get it in there, roughly. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a dot about right in the middle here. Put a dot right there, and the general direction of this pipe. Kind of where we need to be. And we're gonna attempt to do the same thing here without twisting the pipe. So the center of this pipe is about right there. And the general direction is something like that. So I think that will be a good baseline. We'll go and cut it and see where we wind up. There we go. So we got it set up about 45 angles. We got it 45 degrees right here. So we're gonna start by cutting that, and then we're gonna put it in place, see kind of where we are, and take it from there. Well, as you can probably see, it doesn't cut perfectly, this thing. It's pretty cheap, but I'm not going to be doing this 100 times. It doesn't cut very straight. There we go. That looks a little better. All right, so let's go try that out and see where we wind up. Okay, so I'm an idiot because that didn't work out good at all. And it's quite obvious you can't put 45 degrees in here. It's more like 23.5. I don't know what I was thinking. I must have gotten things confused. Obviously it doesn't fit at all. It's way off. And that is exactly why you don't cut it to length the first time. You just cut it and try it. And this time I was an idiot and I have a chance to redeem myself. So I'm gonna go cut this in the correct angle and we'll be back. There we go. And that's at 23.5 degrees instead, which makes a lot more sense. Okay, so that turned out a lot better. Now it's kind of flush. It's good enough anyway, and we still have some room over here. So let's get started on this side now. And then we'll just do whatever we did on the other side. All right, so let's see how good this went. Okay, so it didn't turn out perfect, but it was a lot closer than the really failed one. So it's lying flush up there. And you can see the angle is a little bit off. I also need to cut it a little bit more, a little bit shorter. So I'll change the angle a little bit and cut it slightly shorter, and we should get one step closer to getting that thing in there. All right, so I just flushed these out with some brake cleaner to get rid of all the oil, and now we need to cut this nasty edge off right here. I'm just gonna make that a little bit even, and then we're gonna test mount it on the car. Possibly get it welded in. Got some more cutting to do then, because we need to do, there's just a whole bunch of things that we need to do, isn't there? All right, so we're at the cross here, and obviously we can't have the pipes like that because it's not gonna fit. So we're gonna have to cut either one of these. Yeah, basically we just gotta guess where this kind of intersects and cut that angle right there. Yeah, this is gonna be great. I see no issues at all how this could go wrong. Well, I really hope I pull this off, you guys. This is I'm feeling pretty unsure of this, but we're gonna drill in here. Hopefully, then this pipe will just magically slide in between. Yep. And we only got one shot. All right, so now I'm gonna try to match this angle right here with this one. We'll see. All right, so something like that. Looks pretty straight. All right, here goes nothing, I guess. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good. Some adjustment needed, maybe. There we go. Now we're getting closer. Well, would you look at that? Yeah, I'm holding it a bit away from here, but we'll need to adjust that later. I love it. I wish I had the welder in here now so I could tack it in place. All right, well, let's get that welded in place so that doesn't happen again. And yeah, that would be great. It's hard to weld with your eyes shut. Okay, so I'm gonna go outside and see how that looks like. Well, it does look very straight. Like if you look on the center line of the car, the shifter. Yeah, let's say that's pretty straight. Ah, nobody's perfect. Great. So we got that in there. We have a few more things to take care of. I don't think I'm gonna weld this up right now. I'm just gonna leave it kind of like that. We're gonna get this one sorted and the one going across down here. And then we'll just weld everything up at the same time. I'm really glad that this is over because this was, yeah, I had nightmares about that one. All right. I might reapply this one or not. Gotta scrape this off. We can get down to metal. Well, I guess we just gotta start cutting on one side and we'll just work out what we need to do in the middle here. Probably gonna weld a plate on here and weld this straight onto this. Yeah, I think that'll be the best bet. All right, so we're almost done here with all the pipes. We have this one cut and fitted. We have this one cut. Everything is in place. Now we just need to weld everything. Let's keep it around 8 instead. Yeah. Well, I am really glad that this whole roll cage build is done. It took a little bit longer than I thought, and it was a little bit harder than I thought. Like everything else I do. I'm an optimist, and yeah, I wind up in these situations all the time. So I'm getting quite used to it. If I have any advice to give, if you want to build your own roll cage, make sure you use a TIG welder to do the final welding. I wish I had a TIG welder, but I don't, so I gotta deal with the MIG, but I would use the MIG to just kind of loosely put everything together and then use the TIG welder for the final weld, because I believe you would have a lot better control if you did it that way. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to put them, and I'll be sure to answer them as best as I could. Other than that, I wish you guys a great weekend, and until next time, ha det gött, hej!